There was once a time where Amiibo were a dominant force in Nintendo's massive arsenal of toys, used as a weapon for the great Toys to Life wars. So powerful, it created sellouts all over the world, and it was beloved by millions. But as the war dwindled down, so did the reputation and status of Nintendo's infamous Amiibo. Once Disney Infinity died, so did the adversaries shortly after. Skylanders, LEGO Dimensions, and eventually Amiibo too. Now, Toys to Life is a fading flame of power within the hearts of many youngsters who've just moved on to catch that next dub in their next match of Fortnite. The fading flame now turns into a dim glimmer of light that was once their childhood. But now is the time for the Amiibo to rise up once again, to get a second chance to shine once more, to be passed to younger generations of kids who will hopefully appreciate these plastic Nintendo relics, but will only end up selling them on eBay for hundreds of... Oh geez, what happened to my voice there? Ugh, I must have hit puberty a second time. Amiibo is everyone's favorite series of microtransactions hidden inside a statue of your favorite Nintendo character. Toys to Life in general was a super popular craze at one point, but sadly, like all good trends, or bad trends go, the Toys to Life craze has also died down, including Amiibo. You could also argue that Amiibo are the only true everlasting and thriving pieces of Toys to Life media out there in stores still, but they're nowhere near as popular as they once were back in their glory days of 2014 and 2015. Now, quite simply, one question comes to mind when you click this video. How can Amiibo get back up on its feet again? Well, let's become entrepreneurs and imagine that we are the big name developers and Amiibo managers over at Nintendo of America, or whatever country you live in, and let's say that we are in complete control over the ideas and suggestions to improve Amiibo quality and sales overall. In this case, how can we make Amiibo great again? That is exactly what I am going to answer for you in this video. Some answers might just be cliche to some who really know marketing and Amiibo in this video, but some answers might also be very new and interesting to others. I'll be cutting this video into different segments, so it will be easier to locate certain questions everyone has, and timestamps will be put in the description. Either way, let's get right into the video. All Nintendo needs to do is put more dedication into their Amiibo. Right there, boom, kapow, there's the end-all be-all solution, roll credits. No, but seriously, it's a pretty good idea for obvious reasons. Aside from the exception of Amiibo figures nowadays and coming soon looking better than they ever were before, Amiibo have been getting less attention and new material over the last years or two. Sure, you've got massive releases like Breath of the Wild Amiibo lineup and the upcoming Amiibo for Smash Ultimate, but we need even more of these massive wave releases now more than ever. Controversially enough, Nintendo should actually try and create Amiibo functions that are actually worth buying too. Amiibo functions in-game have been gradually getting worse over the last couple of years, offering less and less for players who buy them, with the obvious exception of a couple of Amiibo. And how that could be approached is if Nintendo's offer them more than just a skin, or a couple of coins, or anything of that sort. For example, one thing my last video commented a lot on was how the Shulk Amiibo's usage wasn't that bad in Xenoblade Chronicles for 3DS. Now that might possibly be coming from diehard Xenoblade fans, but what if I told you that maybe instead of 3 daily coins that the Shulk Amiibo gives you, but instead he could give you 5 daily coins and a nighttime exclusive boss and or challenge. That's just a little example here, but this is what Nintendo should be striving for. An upcoming game Nintendo should use as an opportunity to make potential future Amiibo is Metroid Prime 4. And if Nintendo does happen to make Metroid Prime 4 Amiibo, instead of just restocking any Metroid related Amiibo, they should actually give those Amiibo 15 different features. Okay, 15 features might be a lot, but you get the idea. It's about making it worth buying for everybody, not just the hardcore fans. I think we can agree on that kind of, right? This solution is a no-brainer to basically everyone, hopefully. While Nintendo has made a ton of Amiibo commercials back during their release, these commercials weren't the most pleasant things to sit through. Though I wouldn't go as far as to say that these commercials could be accused for being a big part in the Amiibo downfall. The solution here lies within what Nintendo has already been doing with their Switch commercials over their Wii U commercials. which is treat the Amiibo more seriously. Despite Amiibo being categorized by many as toys, which they are, Amiibo are also a massive target to adults and teenagers too, mainly for their collectibility. Another great way to create interest in buying Amiibo through the advertising outlet would have to be specific Amiibos shown on the commercial to also appeal to the fans of the game with the Amiibo it's associated with. For example of what I'm talking about, instead of just showing what the Legend of Zelda Amiibo functions do in the trailer, despite that also being the objective, keep in mind, you could also make a deep Legend of Zelda reference that will make it less cringy and relatable to the fans outside Legend of Zelda, hopefully, thus encouraging them to buy the Amiibo. Not to say that diehard fans still buy Amiibo despite the cringeworthy commercials, but it will certainly make most people who do buy Amiibo less guilty about collecting for them. Now that the commercial elements are settled, how can we actually grab a person's attention to try and buy an Amiibo? Because I certainly haven't seen any commercials as of recent for Smash Ultimate's recent Amiibo lineup, for example. Well, just like I was mentioning with the Nintendo putting more dedication into the Amiibo, Nintendo should really do everything in their power to advertise and show the world how cool their products can really be. Create commercials, flyers, newspaper articles, though I doubt anyone under the age of 35 reads newspapers nowadays, online social media posts, and much more. Advertising is vital to selling a product, and one way Amiibo can become successful again is if Amiibo get the proper commercialization. One of Nintendo's biggest reoccurring problems when it comes to Amiibo is the amount of stock that's made for Amiibo. Every hard Amiibo collector remembers that time back then where they had to fork up $120 for a Marth Amiibo. I'm even having PTSD flashbacks about it right now. And despite Nintendo's definite improvements on stock shortages, being prepared is always a good thing. Take the SNES Classic for example. Nintendo did the smart thing unlike its predecessor the NES Classic beforehand and ramped up the stock and quantity for the product, and it became both an instant bestseller while also being readily available to this day. Now I have a feeling that there will be people down in the comments about to type about the notorious Animal Crossing Amiibo overstocks, but hear me out. Nintendo needs to make heavy stock for the more popular franchises while also being able to hype up the smaller franchises so hardcore fans can buy the Amiibo made for those more obscure games too. Like everyone knows, Mario's gonna sell well, but what Nintendo should also try and do and experiment with is to advertise and hype the fans of, say, a smaller franchise like Fire Emblem in advance, in order to be extra prepared for big sellouts. In fact, this can even apply with big-name franchises like Legend of Zelda. Skyward Sword Amiibo, for example, was very hard to find, all because of Nintendo's lack of promotion in stock. That, and kind of the fact that it was also an Amazon exclusive. In the end, it's definitely all about the hype. And the same thing applies to future Amiibo. Also, being able to restock already existing Amiibo is a good thing, as it gives the people who missed out on the Amiibo the first time around can get a second opportunity, at least before the second wave of scalpers shows up, obviously. Making sure to excite your fans for the next product release, whether it be popular or not, is always a strong point in selling your products. Oh, and one more thing. Nintendo of America needs to get better communication tactics in order for all the increased stock to even succeed. How do you think a company like Funko with their Funko Pops does so well? They leech themselves onto a quintillion different big-name products and pop culture media outlets, of course. This is exactly what Nintendo should be doing, but with more emphasis on their own game franchises instead. Like Nintendo missed a really costly but great opportunity for this by recreating every Smash Ultimate character instead of restocking all of the Smash 4 variants. Sure, it saves them a ton of money, but it isn't all too creative and helpful to Amiibo as a whole. Now the Smash 4 Amiibo are possibly going to look semi-awkward sitting next to the newly released Smash Ultimate Amiibo. Like if Inkling got a new Smash variant, I certainly think the new variants of Smash Bros characters can be made too. Now making a new Amiibo character doesn't necessarily have to be a Nintendo franchise exclusive either. It can also apply to third-party franchises too. New Amiibo for game franchises like Octopath Traveler and No More Heroes would be instantly beneficial to the reputation of Amiibo. I mean, this isn't the first time Nintendo has created a third-party character as an Amiibo, as there's an existing Solaire Amiibo for Dark Souls, and many other cool examples. Now I certainly fully understand that it is hard for Nintendo to implement more third-party characters into franchises like Super Smash Bros, as the same thing applies to Amiibo too. However, that does not excuse Nintendo from possibly being a billionaire company. There's always a way to get around things like this. Not excluding any plausible reason, just kinda making a joke here. Now shut up and enjoy the rest of the 2 minutes of the video. The last solution I have to the current state of Amiibo is gonna sound very gimmicky to some, especially since the biggest source of the idea comes from one of the most shunned upon Wii U games of all time, that being Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Now where am I getting at here? There should be more games that experiment a lot more with Amiibo and their capabilities. In other words, we need more games that have a major emphasis on Amiibo instead of the figurines being minor DLC. However, this time Nintendo should learn more from their past mistakes like Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival's flaws, and implement more on the usable and tolerable features of Amiibo in a game. A great idea I had for an Amiibo game would be one where you play as a young girl in an action RPG-like setting, and every Amiibo you scan allows that exact character to become a companion in your team, including different unique stats and weapons and power-ups, and all you had to stop an evil chef who won't shut up about its cakes burning. Another minor idea I had for Amiibo usefulness in future Amiibo would be that Amiibo should be used like action figures. Sure, you've got the World of Nintendo figure lineup already, but Amiibo are basically the distant sister of that. All just little ideas of mine, but you can think what you like. So that was my list. Even if Amiibo have sold over 20 million units worldwide ever since its 4 to 5 year launch, Amiibo still need some serious boosts in order to increase their relevance again. Some don't even wish for Amiibo to come back, and of course, that's just your whole opinion. Just like this video's viewpoints and ideas. The video is just a silly series of reasons for Nintendo to bring back a toy product that'll hopefully gain more popularity due to these reasons and solutions. Take it all into consideration. If Nintendo reads this video, of course, maybe we can once again make Amiibo great again. Hope you guys liked this video a ton, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.